I'm Marissa Allen. I'm a senior associate in the private client team at DMH Stallard.
I'm Sarah McGreer and I'm a partner in the private client team, and we are the people who would be assisting you if you decided to come and get some help with your probate. When we're trying to explain it to clients, we try and break down the probate process into a number of stages. And I think there's a bit of a debate as to whether it's 3 or 5 stages. But the first one is definitely working out what the person had at their date of death, and that's assets and liabilities. So it's kind of a weighing up of what they had and what they owed, and getting that down as accurately as possible.
I think what follows on from that is, once you've had that review, do you need a grant of probate or a grant of letters of administration to administer the estate? So identifying whether that's needed is a second stage in the process. And then identifying whether there's any inheritance tax to pay.
Yeah, and then by doing that, we're then working out actually which way we go in the next stage, because there is a shorter application that can be made online if you don't need an inheritance tax account. And there's the other procedure where you prepare the account and submit it, and then pay any tax that might be due, and then wait 20 working days before you can then move to the online system. So that's very clearly kind of the next thing that needs to be done before you actually move to the next stage, which is actually applying for the grant of probate or letters of administration, which is that old, precious certificate that everybody wants that says they're the person who's entitled to move on to the next part.
Yeah, and once you've got that authority in the grant to deal with the administration, you're moving on to that post-grant administration, where it's collecting in the assets, settling any liabilities. And really at that point, you're also looking at the bigger picture and saying, are there any corrections that we need to do? Do we need to correct the inheritance tax position? Has something been sold for a loss, or has something been sold for a gain? Are we triggering a capital gains tax liability that also needs to be reported?
Yeah, because that often comes as a bit of a surprise to people, doesn't it? They've already paid inheritance tax and they're going to have capital gains tax, and in most cases income tax as well, and the reporting of that to deal with. And I think they don't quite often understand the length of involvement with various departments of HMRC, not just the dreaded inheritance tax.
Absolutely. And then probably once all of those liabilities have been settled and you feel comfortable that the tax has been paid, at that point you're preparing estate accounts, which summarises exactly what was in the estate, what's been sold, what's passed to beneficiaries already. And at that point you are able to confirm to the beneficiaries what their entitlement is before what you'd argue is the final stage.
Paying it out.
Yes. Yeah.